There really is no game like Lumber Tycoon 2. There's nothing that matches the building you can do, the tree chopping, and what's even more crazy is that a game that hardly gets any updates is able to maintain such a large player base and also attract so many new players that the player count always is staying in the thousands. So it makes you wonder what's so special about this game. I don't know. Maybe it's just the simplicity of just trees growing and placing blueprints and filling them in with wood, and then boom, you have yourself a house. Those are good times. And sometimes it makes me wonder, like, in terms of updates, what more could this game need? Of course, I mean, there's always room for content to be added, but then you can, like, also take it from another perspective and be like, what would the content do to the game? You don't want to make the map too overwhelming. You don't want there to be... Okay, that's like, fall out of my car. But you don't want to overcomplicate things in a game that's already so simple. I mean, Lumber Tycoon 2 is simple in ways, but also complicated in ways, which makes things nice. I mean, it attracts different types of players, those who want to have a laid-back experience, and those who want to make GPU processors on their base with thousands of wires, for example. But we don't really see new trees getting added, new sections of the map getting added, and maybe that's fine. Maybe that's what keeps the game simple. Because there's already so much to do. It's already kept me distracted for a few years at this point, more than a few. I don't know how many, that's how many years it's been. So maybe Lumber Tycoon 2 doesn't need updates, maybe just little quality of life improvements to make the game nicer, fix little nuances that are bugs. So those are just some thoughts off the top of my head as I think about Lumber Tycoon 2. I mean, it did receive an update recently, which I'm happy about, like human moderators. So it's keeping up with the times, it's not completely dead. And look at the player count, it's in the thousands, and that's absolutely astounding considering the game hardly gets any updates. So, I mean, it shows that, like, updates aren't everything for a game. And what makes things even more interesting is, like what I said earlier, how there are hardly, if any, games like Lumber Tycoon 2 on Roblox that are just able to recreate all of these mechanics, but in a completely unique way that sets it apart from others, because that's what Lumber Tycoon 2 did. No games like this existed before, except for one game. You know what that one game was? That was Lumber Tycoon 1, or just Lumber Tycoon. The original Lumber Tycoon 2, basically. And I don't think there has been another game to successfully replicate it. I mean, there are similar games, there are building games, I won't deny it. There's Oaklands, there's Islands, and maybe this whole theme of a game of tree chopping and everything is not meant to be replicated by another developer, or even another game. Maybe it's just meant to stay Lumber Tycoon 2. I don't know if that makes any sense. It made sense in my mind, but when I put that into words, it really didn't. So those are just some thoughts I had as I was looking through Roblox games, because I'm always looking, like as a content creator, I'm always looking for different games to record, things that are popular, but I look at the catalog, or not the catalog, but the games page, I don't know what it's called, basically, the page with all the games on it, you know, but I look around on it, and I try to find, oh, my audience would like this, it's somewhat related to building, or tree chopping, or resource gathering, or base building. But there's not a lot of those, but there are a few that have been around for ages, like Theme Park Tycoon 2, that's been around forever, and it's basically Lumber Tycoon 2 of theme parks, because basically it's been around for so long, and I don't know if it gets updates or not, but I assume it would, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing to replace Lumber Tycoon 2 with, and there's not much similar to it on Roblox. I don't know if that's just because Lumber Tycoon 2 does it so well, or if it's just not the most popular, profitable thing. 'Cause I know there's developers out there who want to make money, so they make all the simulators. But to be honest, I really don't get the whole appeal of, like, clicking simulators and all that. I just feel like they're all the same, except with, like, a different, I don't know. It's like a house with a different paint of coat every time they upload one of those games. The house looks different on the outside, but on the inside, it's basically the same thing. Maybe that makes sense, I don't know. So that brings us to the current moment, which is, I mean, this whole video's been the current moment. Welcome. So right now we're just chopping some birch trees, we're collecting some wood to sell, because we can eventually get a better axe, and maybe we can buy some nice items, so when it's Halloween, we can actually get the end times axe. If you don't know, if you buy all the ingredients for the Rookery axe, you can actually get the end times axe on Halloween. so maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't, I don't know. But we'll do that for Halloween. It's too soon. It would also be nice to get a better truck, or at least a trailer. Oh yeah, I forgot trailers exist in this game. Same thing happened last time I recorded a video in this game. I forgot trailers existed, but I can actually buy one and hitch it to the back of my car, so we could possibly do that. But in the meantime, we're going to sell birchwood, which has always been my favorite wood to farm in this game. It might not be the best necessarily. I think it's actually like one of the best like new woods to farm. Yeah, and I know ice wood is good, lava wood is great, but it doesn't all fit in my tiny sawmills. So you have to consider that when I say this is like the best wood for like a starter, in my opinion. One of the best woods, I'll say that. So we actually have enough money now, I think. I don't know. Do we have enough money for a trailer? I do not know. What I do know is that we aren't going to be able to buy one in this server just because a few people are actually getting end times wood, so we can pop down there and visit them, say hello or whatever eventually, but for the time being I want to stay alive. There we go. I want to stay alive and actually go shopping at the car shop. Of course I can't bring the items back because how am I supposed to bring a box across a bridge that is all the way in the water, or not even in the water, but like the core of the earth basically. So instead, we'll do this, and we'll go on a nice little walk amongst the walnut trees and the elm trees, all the way to the car store. And by the time we get there, it'll still be closed. It's not going to be open. It can also take the shortcut behind this mountain here to get there. But yeah, it's going to be closed. But we can look at the prices at least and see, oh, can we afford this or can we not? And while we are walking, we can also keep an eye out for some spookwood because it can grow anywhere on the map, especially in October when it is pretty common. And if you don't have any luck finding it, don't worry, because Halloween, October 31st, you'll notice like the entire map is black and white. I don't want to give away too many spoilers in case you've never experienced Halloween in this game, but basically, you'll know it's Halloween when you see the game and you join it on October 31st, and that's when spookwood is the most common. You'll find it pretty easily. Just gotta look around in some public servers. But we're gonna pick the lock on this door really quickly. Voila. Don't tell the shopkeeper Jenny, I don't know who this is. I think it's Jenny, the cat shirt person. But we can look at the prices. Oh, look at this, 1,800. Oh, okay, that's a big jump in price. We could definitely afford this one. We could even afford two. Actually, no, we can't afford two of them, but we could almost afford two of them. There's also the pickup truck, which of course is the best vehicle in the game. I mean, this one's a little fast, but the pickup truck has a lot of storage, but unfortunately, we're still too poor to afford it. So let's go pay a visit over here as we walk back. We can jump in the little void into the core of the earth to go check on what these people are up to. I guess they got the end times tree, which is cool. But then we can also teleport out of there. Don't worry, we're not going to get stuck in the void because that would be bad because we would lose our silver axe, which, I mean, isn't a great axe, but it's my only axe. Okay, well, here we are. Let's jump down. Whee! And look at that, they actually got the tree. That's good for them. Of course, I'm not going to steal any of it. I mean, I'm just here to look. I can't even chop it because I don't even have the end times axe, but pretty cool stuff going on there. And it gets darker and darker, and now I can't even see them. But that looks cool. It also plays very spooky music down here. I have the music turned off, just so when I'm recording it's a bit better, but I don't know. Actually, it's not music, it's like dripping water. But to get out of here, we can either ride the bridge up, but that's gonna take a little long, so we'll just jump down here, and look where we end up. My goodness, where are we? We're back where we were a few minutes ago, practically. Same biome, we're back in the safari, but not back by the car shop, so an even longer walk. Don't tell anyone this, but we can cheat a little. To save us some walking, we can do this massive camera thing like this. Voila, let's choose a nice plot. Okay, we don't have many choices. We'll just go there. And voila, we're back home. So that is it for today's video. I don't really know what the point of it was. I just wanted to make it, I mean, just to speak about Lumber Tycoon 2, because after all, I do make a few videos in this game, maybe a few dozen, maybe a few hundred I've made in this game. But basically, I had some thoughts about it. Maybe that'll give you different ideas about the game when you say, oh, it's dead. Maybe it's not. It's persistent. The player count never dies unless Roblox dies. Like, I've never seen Lumber Tycoon 2 below 1,000 players. unless Roblox was down. So that's pretty crazy. And you look at the updates, and there hasn't been a single major update. I mean, we got this recent update, but there hasn't been a major update since the holidays, last Christmas. I'm trying to think back to other holidays in this game. Last Halloween. So, like in the past year, there's hardly been any updates. Yet, look at where the game is. Still the same player count. I mean, the game's also the same because nothing changes, but that's alright. So thank you everyone for watching, I hope you do have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!